رضي الإله عن الصحابة كلهم والتابعين ومن بحبهم ارتوى خير القرون أتى بذلك
عمرو بن الجموح.
رضي الإله عن الصحابة كلهم.
Amr bin Al-Jamuh, one of the best leaders in Yathrib in Jahiliyyah and the chief of Bani Salman, one of the best in Medina and was known for his generosity. In Jahiliyyah, every one of Ashraf used to have a statue in his house. They asked them for blessings every time and everywhere. They present oblation in seasons and ask their refuge in hard times. The statue of Amr was called Manat, and he made it of precious wood. He was so obsessed with it and used the best perfumes on it. Amr was over 60 years old when the light of Islam entered Yathrib houses by Mus'ab bin Umair. Many people converted to Islam because of him. His 3 sons converted to Islam too: Ma'udh, Mu'adh, Khalid, and Mu'adh bin Jabal, who was in their age. Also, their mother Hind converted to Islam, but he knew nothing about them. His wife Hind thought that most of Yathrib people converted to Islam. Only her husband and few people from Ashraf remained in polytheism. She loved him, and she was scared that he might die upon kufr, so he would be in hell. At the same time, he was scared that his sons might change their religion and follow Mus'ab bin Umair. He made many people change their faith and choose Muhammad's religion in short time. He said to his wife, Hind, be careful that your sons don't meet the man, he meant Mus'ab bin Umair, until we see what we have to do with him. I hear and obey, but would you listen to what your son says about this man? Waylul lakum. Did Mu'adh change his religion? And I don't know about that? He said. No, but he attended some of his gatherings and memorized some of what he said. Bring him to me. When Mu'adh came to him, he said, let me hear some of what this man says. So Mu'adh recited Al-Fatiha, chapter 1.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين.
How beautiful this is. Does all his talking sound like that? It's even better than that. Father, would you give your pledge of allegiance to him? All of your people did. He kept silent for a while, then said, I will not do anything until I consult Manat and see what he says about it. What would he say? And it's just a mindless deifwood that can't talk, Mu'adh said. He answered sharply, I said I will not do anything without him. Amr bin Al-Jamuh got up to Manat, and if they wanted to talk to it, they put an older woman behind it, so she answered with what it inspires her, as they claim. He stood on his right leg, since he had a strong limb on the other one. He praised it and said, Manat, of course, you heard about this man who came from Mecca. He wants to harm no one but you. He warned us from worshipping you. even though his talk was beautiful. I hate to give him my pledge of allegiance before consulting you, so let me know what I should do. Manat did not respond. I didn't do anything, and you are already angry? But it's okay. I'll leave you for a few days until you calm down. Amr bin Al-Jamuh's sons went to Manat at night with their friends Mu'adh. They take it and put it in a hole where Bani Salman used to throw the rubbish. They went back to their houses, and no one knew. In the morning, Amr went out to greet it, but he didn't find it. Al-Wail betide who came near to our God tonight, Amr said. No answer. He kept looking inside and outside of the house, while shouting and entreating until he found it in the hole. He took it, washed it, put perfume on it, and put it back in its place, and said, If I knew who did this to you, I would humiliate him. The next night, the boys did the same thing to Manat. The older man woke up and looked for it. Then he found it in the hole covered in filth. He took it, washed it, and put it back to its place. The boys kept doing the same thing every day. He became furious and went to it before he slept and said, Manat, I don't know who's doing this to you, but take this sword to defend yourself. Then he went to bed. The boys went to the statue once they realized that the older man was asleep. They took the sword and went out of the house. They put it next to a dead dog with a rope and threw them in a well for Bani Salman, full of filth. When the older man woke up and didn't find the statue, he looked for it. He found it in the well next to a dead dog without the sword. This time he didn't take it out and said, If you were a god, you wouldn't be in a well next to a dead dog in a robe. Then he couldn't wait to enter Allah's religion. Amr bin Al-Jamuh tasted the sweetness and the beauty of Islam, which made him regret every second in polytheism. He entered the new religion with his body and soul, devoting himself, money, and sons to obeying Allah and His Messenger. The Messenger of Allah buried the martyrs of Uhud and said, Bury Amr bin Al-Jamuh with Abdullah bin Amr. They loved each other in this world. They were close and friends. May Allah be pleased with Amr bin Al-Jamuh and his martyred companions from Uhud and fill their grave with light.
رضي الإله عن الصحابة كلهم والتابعين ومن بحبهم ارتوى خير القرون أتى بذلك قوله لا يلمز الأصحاب إلا ذو هوى رضي الإله عن الصحابة كلهم والتابعين ومن بحب